let's give these a shot, but first we'll remind ourselves of some math terminology. Whenever you see the word of on a math problem, 99% of the time you can translate that into times, multiplication. And whenever you see the word is on a math problem, well, that means equals. So knowing these two pieces of information, let's take a look at these. We can set these up and literally translate them word by word. What is 15% of 22? So I'll start by saying question mark, what is 15%? So I can write that as a decimal now, 0.15 of times 22. And when I pull out my handy-dandy calculator, I find that that equals 3.3. Great. Okay, on to this second one. What is 112% of 18? Well, maybe at this point I'm not quite comfortable translating percents into decimals, so I can use fractions as an intermediate step. And here's how that works. We'll set it up the same way. What is, so question mark equals 112%. If I wrote that as a decimal, or excuse me, as a fraction, any percent written as a fraction is just whatever it is over 100. So 112 over 100. That's 112% of times 18. Well, you look at that, that's fraction multiplication. 112 over 100 over 18 times 1. And when you, again, use your calculator to solve that, you find that that equals 20.16. Okay, on to this next one. 18 is what percent of 48? So here it's the same idea, just ordered a little bit differently. I can say 18 is what percent, so question mark out of 100, of 48 times 48. And maybe you're not quite there with your algebra skills yet. If not, that's okay. We'll cover algebra in a later lesson. But when you solve this, you find that the question mark equals 37.5%, or 37.5, right? Again, if you're not quite there on algebra, don't worry. We'll talk about manipulations in the next module. And then finally, what percent of 5 is 10? So same idea. What percent, so question mark out of 100, of 5 times 5 is 10. And when you solve this out, you get question mark equals 200.